Hello everyone. So you see the little shed right there? Well, that's the little building that I'm turning into a workshop. So I'm doing all the steps into turning this, very ordinary garden shed into an actual functioning building. And today it's all about installing windows. So this shed has these two plastic windows, shed windows. And in order to turn this shop with a shed into an actual functional building, I have to replace them with real windows. And for that I headed to Home Depot, who I'm working with on this video. And yeah, I've been taking many trips there lately to pick up supplies and materials for this little shop. So I'm not getting one, not two, not three, but four windows for 140 square feet. I figured it'd be nice to have a window in the door to get more light in. I think this will be good. Two on the south side, one next to the door, and one in the back one where the air conditioner is gonna go. So, of course, demolition always comes first. So I removed the trim around the windows, and this was like an MDF trim, and it's kind of funny, you could definitely tell that this was constructed as a shed based on the materials used, so it will be nice to change that. And I think that's what's kind of cool, like you can replace certain parts of a building like this, like the windows, and then you can keep the main structure and you can just improve upon it and in the end get a really nice building. And here I was constructing the framing for the window, which was kind of unnecessary to do beforehand. It's easier really to do it in place. Here are the units for each window. Quite a lot larger. They're going on top of the plate here though, so they'll go up just a bit. Yeah, these windows were pretty easy to remove since they were just screwed in from the outside. Of course, windows are all different, but this was not a big deal. They were just kind of a little bit stuck in place. I removed the window, and now I'm gonna carefully cut away the studs. And the thing here is that the sheathing is also the siding, and I want to preserve that. So I'm gonna be really careful and try not to cut anywhere where I shouldn't cut. So I'm gonna use a reciprocating saw for this. Now, using a reciprocating saw for this job was pretty easy, and the one thing I figured out was that you really should not be afraid of bending the blade at all to really get a good angle in, to really cut just the nails or the screws, and then it went pretty easy. So just adding some shims to prop up the window a bit, and also to make sure that it sits at the right angle. When doing this tape here, the biggest thing when putting a window in is that you want to avoid moisture from actually getting in between like the siding and the windows. And if moisture were to come in, water you want it to drain the right way. So you're taping from underneath, moving upwards, going higher, so it kind of falls down the right direction. I'm using these 28 by 38 inch energy efficient windows, the same size all around. I figured that was easier. So after framing in and taping the opening, I place the window in, make sure it's level, and then add shims all around. I check to see if I can still close and open the window, and if the shims aren't tight enough, it won't stay open very well. Then I go outside, position it correctly, and measuring the diagonals, making sure they're the same. And if everything looks good, then I start securing it through the shims with some screws, and then continuously checking level, closing and opening the window, etc. as I'm screwing the window in, just to making sure it's staying correct. Okay, pretty good. So, got 3 windows installed as now, have 1 left to do. So the last window will go right here, starting on this side of the stud. And this is the one that I will have an air conditioner in it on the bottom level inside the window. So this job is not exactly difficult. I kind of feel like that's the case with this whole shed project, that there are of course many different parts to it. None is particularly difficult, there's just a lot of little things to figure out. And if I were to make a mistake somewhere, I mean, what's the worst that would happen? You would fix it, you would patch over it. It's not a big deal. So this part right here I think is my favorite of the whole project. The concept of cutting a hole in a wall where there previously was no window, and then you get to see exactly what the view will be. That is a really cool part. Of course, also once you have done one window, doing the remaining ones is a lot easier. I can't tell you how excited I am to get this finished. I have big plans for this workshop. Lots of projects coming up relating to it, and projects that I want to make for it. And I want to turn it into a really nice space. So, I have 4 windows in here now. 5 if you count the window in the door, which technically that's a window too. So quite a lot for this little shop shed. 140 square feet. Really like this view actually, a lot of greens, kind of nice. Of course there's going to be an air conditioner going in this unit, which is definitely needed here, it gets so hot. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and I'll see you guys soon. I'm just thinking about what my next step is here. There's so many things. I think I might tackle the trim around the windows next, then the siding on the front, add the electrical, drill all the holes for the outlets and the lights. And I have a pretty neat idea for the railing on the porch, which involves turning a lot of spindles on the lathe. That should really get me good with the skew chisel, so it's just something I'm planning, kind of thinking about.